Hi again. Welcome to another session. My name is Lua Bikoye. I'll be taking you through AWS cloud computing. And in this particular video, we'll be looking at how to launch multiple instances. Multiple instances using Batch script. Yeah. So we want to deploy a simple website using Batch script and launching an instance with it. Now, if you look at my screen, you would see I have a GitHub account. So you see github.com Lu Abikoye /AWS. If you follow this URL, it should take you to a page where that looks similar to this. Let me just zoom in. Yeah, it looks similar to this. So let's just go into the EC2 folder. You see a file called batch.sh. Now, this is a simple batch script that I'll be explaining. So what this batch script does really is just to install Apache to download certain resources. In a subsequent video where we'll be talking a bit more on Linux or batch scripting, I would explain how all this. I'm sure if you're familiar with batch scripting, this wouldn't be a problem. This is a simple script that just helps you launch a website and install Apache and launch a website. So we have a website in one of our servers saved somewhere. We just want to download it, install Apache, configure the necessary things that need to run smoothly in the Apache, and now move the website file to the Apache root directory where the script will run. So pretty much what you do with this really is, if you have to deploy the same type of website in multiple instances, you don't need to start setting up an instance, creating the servers, installing the application and deploying the instance. Then you set up another instance, launch the servers, and all those repetitive steps will not be necessary. There are cases where you need your application to have high availability and you need the application to be running on more than one instance at a time. So in subsequent video where we talk about auto scaling group, you understand what we mean. But the whole idea is, why launch instances one after the other when you can launch all the instances at once using a batch script to deploy your website file. So what I would expect is you can copy this script to have it handy, and we'll go ahead to launch our instance, and I'll show you where to paste the script so that this instance will launch and run and deploy the service. Okay, so back to my AWS dashboard. Looking at where I have all my instances running, all you need to do is to launch a new instance. If you can't see the screen, you just type EC2 here. On the left, click on instances and just find your way around it until you find your launch instances. Now, to launch a website for an organization that is into cleaning, we already have the designs ready. So I just call this cleaning web. So that's the name of the service. I stick to my Ubuntu servers. I stick to my free tier Amazon image. I stick to my free tier T2 micro. I've explained why this is. I create a new key pair. So I call this one clean.key. So it's deliberate that I'm giving them names that are similar to whatever component I'm working on. So here you see clean.key. So the key pair downloads. I move on to my network and settings. Remember, I just edit to give it a name, and this time I call this clean. I call this clean.sg. I retain the same name, and here I have my rule already set. I select a new rule. I choose HTTP. I say from anywhere, and I leave my configuration the same as the storage, and I click on advanced. So advanced, there's so many things you can do in advanced. We'll come to that in subsequent video, but just scroll down to where you have this user data. This user data, what this means is, once you launch your instance, what are the commands that you want the instance to run and execute. So I paste, that's my batch script here. Sorry, let me go back to this page, copy my batch script, and I paste it here. And before I launch, you can see number of instances. In this case, I want 3 instances to run. So I click on I enter the value 3, and I launch instance. So you see, this has started launching these instances, deploying them, and immediately that is done, the components that I've requested for in the instances would begin to install. As you can see, I'm trying to refresh my EC2 dashboard, and clearly you can see there are 3 cleaning instances that have just been launched. They are currently initializing, so I'll just pause this video for a bit to wait for it to complete. This might take about a minute, because after the installation there are particular after launching the instance, rather, there are particular installations that I've written to run in the background. All right, the services are running smoothly now. So what we just have to do is to click here, copy any of the IP address, just click on copy here, go to a new browser, paste, and run. So if you copy any of those IP addresses and paste on your browser, what you get is this same website running smoothly at your end. Alright, that's about it about launching instance with bash scripts, launching multiple instance with bash scripts. See you in the next video, where we'll be looking at creating an S3 bucket and imputing a static website there. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Alright, one of the things that you should quickly learn to do is when you have resources that you're not using, you should terminate them. So for instance, the instances I just created, I have terminated them. I just selected all of them, clicked on instance state, and I clicked on terminate instance. So I'll do that right